uh, May 8th. And I want to talk a little bit about Paul today. Um, Paul wrote a lot of the epistles or letters in the New Testament. And after Jesus died, he traveled around and started new churches. And so some of his letters are to those churches that he started, um, either saying, I hope everything's great. I hear that things are going well. Or like in Galatians, he says, come on, shape up. You need help, Galatians. This is not how a Christian church should be. So, in the book of Philippians, which is a very upbeat book, uh, Paul is writing from prison, and but he's joyful, and at that point in his life, he didn't care if he lived or died because he was with Christ either way, and so he tells the Philippians that, and he tells them, don't worry. There are so many people who are not authentic, who will lie to you, um, where you think things are terrible and there's always something good to come from it. And so here's what he says, from uh, Philippians, the first chapter of Philippians. They can imprison Paul, but they can't imprison the message. And this is from the contemporary version called The Message. So he says, I want to report to you, friends, that my imprisonment here has had the opposite of its intended effect. Instead of being squelched, the message has actually prospered. All the soldiers here and everyone else too found out that I'm in jail because of this Messiah. And that piqued their curiosity, and now they've learned all about him. And not only that, but most of the Christians here have become far more sure of themselves in the faith than ever, speaking out fearlessly about God, the Messiah, and about the Messiah. It's true that some here preach Christ because, with me out of the way, they think they'll step right into the spotlight. But the others do it with the best heart in the world. One group is motivated by pure love, knowing that I'm here defending the message, wanting to help, but the others, now that I'm out of the picture, are merely greedy, hoping to get something out of it for themselves. Their motives are bad. They see me as their competition. And so the worse it goes for me, the better, at least they think, for them. So, human nature is not any different today than it was then. Um, People are into Christianity for authentic reasons, for belief and faith, and some are in it for the spotlight. They want the attention. They think Paul is out of the picture, and I think we all find people like that as we live our lives, um, and so we can just think and hope and pray that God will take care of the situation. Like Paul's in prison, and now all these, I envision the guards with their ears up to the bars of Paul's cell while he talks to someone because they want to know. They are getting drawn in. Maybe the mice that crawl around um, in his cell are listening and taking the message out to others. People in the next cell have a cup up to the wall, like we did when we were kids, because people are attracted to this message and to someone who knows Jesus Christ and believes in him. And so if you're in a bad situation, give it a little time, pray about it and see what happens, and you may be surprised. And so Philippians is about joy. It's a very upbeat, optimistic letter, I should say. Um, and Paul is saying, have joy. Um, and one of the things from Philippians 4:13, recalling that the Philippians had graciously shared what they had with him, Paul promised, my God will meet all your needs according to his glorious riches in Christ Jesus. And then a little bit before that, um, he says, I can do everything through him who gives me strength. That's the 13th verse of chapter 4. And it ties in when you watch my Sunday worship service, it's about loving one another, and it's about finding joy, and again, love one another. I don't think we can ever hear that often enough, especially during these times. And so I hope that lifts you up if you are not already lifted. Maybe it gives you a little something to think about. Blessings, and I'll see you soon.